Whether you've moved abroad or live just a few hours away from university, homesickness can be something that affects all of us in lots of different ways. Homesickness, don't forget, can affect you at any point during your time at university or time away from home, whether that's as you've just moved in as a freshers or maybe in the middle of your second year when things are starting to get really difficult. Homesickness will affect you when you least expect it. In my room, I used posters, little bits of decorations that I brought from home, just things that made my room feel like me. I also bought some really cool IKEA bedding that I think looks really funky. And it's just one of the things that when you come home from university and you're feeling a bit, achy in the heart, you're missing home, then I think it's really important to have a room that feels welcoming to you and like a safe space. Join clubs, societies, maybe something even as simple as learning where your local supermarkets are. Keep yourself busy during that first week, as it's kind of when homesickness is most likely to set in. This can be a bit tricky, as it can be hard to find the balance between calling too often and not calling enough. I can assure you that your parents are probably dying to know what's happening at university, all of the gossip and who you like, who you don't like, what your flatmates like. I can imagine they want to know everything. But there's also such a thing as calling too much. Remember, you have just left home and your parents are probably really enjoying the time when you're not there. Not to be mean to you, but they probably are. So I would say keeping it to maybe 2 to 1 phone call a week, I'd say is the sweet spot, because then you'll always have something to say. I would definitely advise that you cook some home comforts, whether that's maybe specific recipes that your mum and dad used to make. It's also a great way to learn how to do some cooking. You need to make sure that whilst you're at university, you're eating properly, you're sleeping enough, because homesickness is never going to feel good if you yourself don't feel good physically. So make sure that you always take care of yourself during the times that matter the most, and always, of course, but get yourself a routine, try and stick to it. Just overall keep your physical health happy, and you'll probably deal with homesickness a lot better than if you were living off packets of crisps and sleeping until the late hours of the day. This is something that may sound strange, but I remember during my first year of university when we had lots of deadlines and I couldn't see a lot of my friends very often, it was really useful that I knew what to do with myself when I had to be alone. Whether that was doing something I really enjoyed, like painting, or just watching Netflix, cooking. Just make sure that if you do have to spend time by yourself and not be with friends, that you know how to do it well and how to enjoy yourself. Homesickness is bound to happen whether you like it or not. And I think the best way to combat this would be to think about why you're there in the first place, whether it was for an opportunity or whether you wanted to change your life. I think it's always worth considering why it is you did what you did, and might help you kind of get through that feeling of homesickness. But overall, it is normal to feel homesick. Everyone does. It's just learning how to deal with it and just getting through it, really. If you really are dealing with homesickness in a way that you don't think these tips could help you, speak to a friend or a tutor or find some help at the university. Just remember that homesickness is normal and that everyone deals with it in their own way.